Inside your bedroom, we stopped counting the days, lost in the rhythm.
Well, hello, one and all. It is your girl Kat with Black Girl Love, the podcast, and we are back for episode 8 of Black Girl Love. You ready? Let's do it.
Inside your bedroom.
Well, again, this is episode 8 of Black Girl Love, the podcast, and I am your host, Kat Williams. And I, as always, I don't know why, I segment the show, Black Girl Love. 3 easily digestible bites. And I don't know why the first segment is always sort of sad. And it's because the world is a little bit sad right now, right? And, because, And when you look at it like that, there's a lot of things to talk about, right? And a lot of things to look at. This week I was like, oh man, there's so much going on in the world. And my focus is primarily America because I'm American. But I look at the youth that were shot or even killed in the last 2 to 3 days. We've had 3 shootings for no reason. Young Ralph knocking on the door, looking for his brothers to pick them up and bring them home, running a chore for his parents, Didn't even have a cell phone on him in this day and age. Most kids got their cell phone, almost glued to their hand or their forehead. Then the young lady who was shot when in New York, a group of friends turned down the wrong driveway, realized they had turned down the wrong driveway, and proceeded to exit without even going up to the home, and the homeowner shot her and killed her. One of the people in the car, young lady, 20 years old, gone. 2 cheerleaders in Texas shot. One got out of her friend's car, went to get in what she thought was her car, and it wasn't. Realized it wasn't because there was someone in the passenger seat. Got out of the car, got back in her friend's car, and the person that was in the other car got out, approached them, and shot. 2 shots. All men, that were the perpetrators of this crime, middle age to elderly is what it looks like. I don't know if they're all white, but I did see 2 pictures and they were definitely white, and I think the third may be as well, but I'm not sure. Now all this has happened within like 2 to 3 days in America, and I'm just baffled. And we've talked about this on this podcast before. We've talked about the cesspool that is America, and the gun rights, and that they are trying to hold on to like it's really something that's necessary. And then we got abortion in Florida. If you were raped, you have to prove that you were raped before you can get an abortion. Whew, I tell you. I don't know what's up with men. And I'm going to say it. I just don't know what's wrong with men. Because there's definitely something wrong with men. And I don't know how to fix it because I'm not a man. And I really, truly, I was going to say I don't interact with men that much, but I do. I have quite a few male friends who I love dearly. But they're all gay. None of them are straight. And I don't know if that's the difference. It probably isn't because, we had those 2 gay guys who were married and molesting their adopted children. They're 2 adopted special needs boys. So obviously, the sick carries across, doesn't matter who you sleep with. But there's something in the water, man. I don't know if it's how we're raising them, how we're not raising them, what we're telling them they can do, what they're allowed to do. I don't know. I really, truly don't know. But I'm fearful. More so than I think it should be. I just don't know how people in America do it. I mean, you just walk up and knock on someone's door and you get shot twice in the head. Innocent. You can't even be innocent anymore. I mean, we already know that. Black boys can never be innocent. But I don't understand. America has built this, though. And let's be honest, they have. And what I'm saying, and I'm focusing on America because I'm not going to focus on any other country because I'm not from there, and I've spent the majority of my life in America, so I feel like I can speak more on America than other places. But America has done this on purpose, because it's the only thing that makes sense. From the foundation of America, they have done this. They have built men that destroy, rape, maim, murder, molest. If it can be done, and it can be nasty, degrading, abusive, then a man in America will be at the front of the line, and then he'll come back to get back at the front of the line. You feel what I'm saying? I don't get it, man. I'm just waiting for the aliens to come and take us away, take over. Hell, I don't know. Maybe we need a cleanse, start over again, another ice age, because the shit we got going on now, it's just ridiculous. And again, it's not just America. I'm just only speaking on America. And I want it to be better. But I don't. I really, truly can't see how it's going to be better. Social media has shined the light on a lot of things. It has also shined the light on the warts, the scabs, the sores, the open festering sores that is America, the blight that is in America. How does it feel? Like, how does the air feel? Is it settling on you? Are you scared to be in America? I can't tell you that everybody thinks America is stupid and dangerous, very, very dangerous. I don't know about tourism and things like that, people coming here, though I have seen some social media posts where people say they wouldn't come to America for nothing right now. And I get it. I totally get it. But I wonder. And I'm going to let that go, y'all. I'm just talking off the top of my head. If you have a solution, or you think there's something we can do to correct America's pathway outside of getting rid of all the elected officials that we have. Ooh, did you hear about Oklahoma? They want to lynch us. And by us, I mean black people. They missed that time where they could openly lynch black people. That's what they said in Oklahoma in a closed-door meeting that someone stuck a hidden recorder in, because that's what you got to do to get the real of people. And these are highly important elected officials who said this in a closed-door meeting that was secretly recorded, because we always say they say things behind closed doors. Now we have proof, but we knew we didn't need proof. But now we have proof. So anyway, drop below what you think America needs to do, what your community is doing, what you're doing to implement changes so that we can all be safe. Maybe.
Inside your bedroom.
Yes, y'all. We are back for the second part of Black Girl Love Podcast, and that is the girl portion. And I was like, what am I going to talk about this week? And I always like to keep this portion a little bit lighthearted because, after the first section, you need something to cleanse the palate a little bit. And plus, I like to laugh. Anybody who knows me knows that, I laugh, and I laugh loudly, because why not? Life is meant to be laughed, loved, and lived. That's why I say laugh, loved, and live. Do all three of those things, and you will be considered successful in my eyes. So anyway, what's really been funny to me this week has been the cake talk drama on TikTok. And as I've mentioned before, I love TikTok. But there is a baker who posted a TikTok about a horrible customer service experience, and the customer had purchased an $80 cake, and she got home and complained about it. And then she showed us a picture of the cake, and yeah, she had every right to complain about it because it sucked. It was not worth $20. It literally looked like some kids that did it. You know, like one of those projects you do with your toddlers, your 3 or 4 year olds, when you try and teach them, you know, bake. Let's bake some cookies. Let's make a cake. That's what it looked like. Add to it was sprinkles. I don't get how people eat sprinkles. Like, it's just hard colored sugar. Like, do you love yourself? Because sprinkles. I don't know. It's not my love, live, laugh philosophy. No, it's not. So the person who bought the cake made a TikTok about it. The person who sold the cake made a TikTok about it. And then everybody else on TikTok commented. So then all the other bakers in the world had to come through and show how you really should do the cake. And they're beautiful. I mean, the other people's cake, not the bakers. Not the original baker. Her cake, all of her cakes are atrocious. And she actually teaches classes. No, there's nothing she can teach because she has not been taught. And it's obvious. I've seen a few of her videos of her cakes, and they were not good. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's a home baker. Somebody said your cake was good one time, and she let it go to her head. Honey, everybody, a cake is, honestly, a box cake is pretty simple. And if you can master that, great, but it doesn't make you a baker. It really, truly doesn't. I'm sorry. And it definitely doesn't make you a cake decorator. You know, I can pop open a Duncan Hines cake mix and make a decent cake, but I prefer from scratch because there's a different level of taste that I want. But I'm not going to turn down a box cake, but I'm not going to pay you for one either. No, sir, no, ma'am. Not a box cake. No, not for $1.99 box cake. I wish I would pay you $30 or $80. You got to be crazy. Anyway, that's cake talk, and it's been hilarious. I'm over it now, and I'm hoping that TikTok will be over it too, because, you know, they've dragged this poor woman. Her business cannot be doing good because she's doubling down. And then add to a lot of pictures on her website were stolen. So they weren't even representing the work that she does. She said it was because she teaches classes. And this is to show people this is what we're going to do in the class. But love, nothing you've done is up to the level of those pictures that you stole. So how can you teach a class on it? You can aim high, but you got to be realistic too. And maybe making cakes is not for you, sis. It might just not be for you, and that's okay. Do something else. You young enough to switch. In any age you can switch, but you're definitely young enough. I think she's like 25. Switch. Then I saw another video that's been making the rounds of a teacher, an educator, and one of her students actually getting into fisticuffs. I've always wanted to say that word, and this was appropriate, so it works. So the young lady, the student, had her phone taken by the teacher, and I guess she considered this disrespectful, and proceeded to get in the teacher's face several times. The teacher politely reprimanded her and told her to step back, do not touch her. You know, the things you do when the child is not yours and you cannot do anything to that child, and you work in the public education system where the rules are you do not hit children. I, on the other hand, came up in a time when you could hit children, and I recall being spanked with a wooden paddle at school more than once because, you know, I could run my mouth, and that's okay. That's okay. You couldn't hit me today, but that was many, many moons ago, and that was the standard practice. Now we know you don't hit other people's children. I'm of the firm philosophy that you don't hit children at all. At all. And there's really nothing you can say that's going to make me change my mind on that. So please don't bother. Anyway, all this to say, the student fucked around and found out. Because it was a grown woman that she hit. And it was a grown woman who hit her back. Quite soundly, I might add. Because I think children, especially young teens, they smell themselves. That's what we always call it in the South. You know, you're smelling yourself. You're thinking highly of yourself. Your hormones are coming to the surface and you think you've grown. And while I don't believe in hitting children, children need to stay in their place, whatever that place may be. But that place is definitely not hitting another adult who has several pounds on them, might I add. But I'm sure in this young lady's head, she looks about 15, she thought she could take this grown woman. That's what she thought. And she was politely informed that she could not. Especially when her body hit that ground, because she got body slammed to the ground, and that was only after the lady basically tried to get her off of her. If you watch the video, you see it. I think the teacher might have been in a little bit of shock that this young lady was swinging on her like this, and the young lady, her intent from the get-go was obviously to do what she did. I don't know, maybe she thought she was saving face. Maybe there's something going on in her personal life. I don't know. And I don't really care. In the grand scheme of things, you don't hit other people without there being repercussions. So she got her repercussions, and I'm sure she's going to get expelled. Teacher may lose her job too. I don't know. I don't think she should. But teachers are leaving that profession in droves, and I don't blame them. I like the way that we're going with raising children. You know, we're not hitting them anymore. But there's something else wrong though. Like, we're replacing it with something else. Kids are man. I don't know. I don't know. I never would have thought of hitting a teacher when I was a child. Now I've said some stuff in my head, but I ain't never thought about swinging on an adult, because that just doesn't make any sense to me. Why would I hit an adult that could hit me back? You feel me? Because I don't like being hit by nobody. It's really interesting. And these are the lessons that life is going to teach you. Because this young lady is going to get expelled. There's no hesitation, she will be expelled. And what do we do then? Like, where is she going to get her education at, right? And what pathway is she going to now be on? From cake talk to school talk. You know what I'm saying? All women. All youth. People. Golly, man. I just don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. And then, the first segment of Black Girl Love, the podcast, I talked about men. And this one is all about women. But at least nobody died. Nobody got shot. We just talking about a fugly cake and a cell phone mishap. Because I'm sure the rules at the school were you're not supposed to have your cell phone out. But our kids are addicted to cell phones. Because adults are addicted to cell phones, right? We're addicted to that social media high. And I don't know what's going to happen to us with that. Because I can easily say that, yeah, I see it. Because I'm addicted to it too, But not enough to fight someone over holding on to my phone. You can have the phone, baby. It's not that serious. It's really not that serious. So, follow up and see what happens, I guess.
Inside your bedroom.
And we are back with the last segment of Black Girl Love, the podcast. And this one, we talk about love. And last week I talked about love in a romantic level and other things. This week I'm talking about love of shows, TV shows. In particular, Love is Blind, which I will be the first to admit I did not watch. I did not watch this season. And let me tell you why. Mainly because everybody else watched it and posted about it on social media. I felt like I did not have to watch any episode because y'all told me everything about it. Everything. Since none of it was good, I was like, so why would I watch it? It's going to be heavily edited. We know that. The people are, almost everybody on this show, they're narcissists. The ones that they showcase. The ones that are successful You never see them. There are a lot of couples that match up on this show, but you don't see them, especially the black couples for some odd reason. They usually have like one token relationship of color, and that's about it. But, yeah, Love is Blind. I think at this point with relationship shows on TV, they're almost always fake. I think the first season may come out like, oh, this is great, oh my goodness. The next season will never be, because people see it and they want to be on TV. You cannot tell me that all these people want to get married. They don't. They really truly don't. No, I don't believe it. No. And another show that I do like, I ain't gonna pretend I don't, because I do. Because everybody likes some trashy TV. I just didn't watch Love is Blind because, again, y'all watched it and told me about every episode, every minute of it too. Married at First Sight. I like the premise of this show to a certain extent, a very, very small certain extent, but I do like it. And the reason why I like it is because I like the Australian version better, because it's messy. When I tell you it's messy, baby. It puts the American show to shame, honey. These people is messy, and I live for it. And then you add in the accent. Half the time I don't know what the hell they saying. The other time they making references to stuff I've never heard of. So it's like a cultural exploration into mess, because everybody messy. And they have like a success rate that's shockingly bad, but not, because again, after the first season of shows like this, they're generally not there for the show. They're there for the Instagram blue check, the TikTok blue check, the endorsement deals, things of that nature. Everybody wants to be a celebrity. Everybody wants to be a content creator. So here we are. You have shows like this who make a mockery of marriage, and we all eat it up. I mean, forks, knives, spoons, paper plates, fine china, napkins, paper towels. We right there. And I'm with you. Hey, I don't care what nobody says. A good mess is a good mess. But yeah, if you ain't got nothing else to do, check out Married at First Sight Australia version. It's on YouTube, matter of fact. And speaking of YouTube, I found this amazing R&B mix yesterday when I was working. And sometimes I like to play music when I'm working. It helps me. And this time I was working in a coffee shop, so I needed the distraction because the music in the coffee shop was sucked and the people were really loud. So I was like, let me put some music on. And I went to my Amazon Prime music, but I forgot I let that subscription lapse. And the new free version ain't that great. And that's on Amazon Prime, trying to split everything up and going up on them prices for no reason. Because $12.99 is just, it's too much. Even $8.99 is too much a month for music. Nope, I can't do it. I don't listen that often, so it doesn't behoove me to pay that kind of money. And I don't like the other music providers. Anyway, I was listening to something on the Amazon, free music, and I couldn't hit reverse to re-listen to just that particular line I wanted to hear, because there's a certain portion of some songs where it just resonates with your soul and you just need it. And Amazon was like, we need you to pay. And I said, screw you. And I went to YouTube and I just played the song and hit reverse a few times so I could hear it over and over again. And then I just let it play again, and then this mix popped up. Somebody out there knew I needed this mix, y'all. 45 minutes. I think it's like 45 or 50 minutes. Solid. Dude was doing 90s, 80s, 2000s. And it was R&B, a little hip hop, but it was just perfect. He was mixing things I just wouldn't thought you would have transitioned to. And I'm not saying all of his mixes were perfect. I think some of the transitions were a little harsh. But, the next song up was straight, so I can't even complain, right? But if you want to listen to this, I'm going to post a link below. But you can also go to R&B Basement Party Mix on YouTube by Richie Smart. And it's RICHY Smart. And again, that's R&B Basement Party Mix. And it's on YouTube. I'm telling you, 50 minutes of your life. You may end up dancing. I was juking. I was pointing at the laptop. I was a thug at some moments. The next moment, I was an R&B crooner, baby. I was singing from the soul in that coffee shop. I was giving good energy. You had to be there. And I was. So, anyway. But that is love, I've been actually avoiding TV this week because there's really nothing going on good. And avoiding a lot of news, even though I talked about news at the beginning of the podcast, this episode anyway. I really have. I just didn't want the energy, But I may, since I heard the, reunion show? The reunion episode of Love is Blind was so bad as well. I may go back and watch the season. I might. I don't know. It's on Netflix, right? And Netflix sucks, and I'm about to let them go too. I'm really, truly thinking about letting a lot of these streaming services go. I think the quality of TV has really went down. There's not much that's good. And if you have a good show that you watch, especially if it's a good murder mystery. I love murder mysteries. I particularly love British murder mysteries. And I know people go, but why British murder mysteries? I like British shows in general. And the reason is they're just much better actors. I think America is fixated on looks, so the acting can be subpar in a lot of things, whereas the British people focus on acting, and it shows. And when I say that it shows, because they'll have somebody on there who, to me, is just not attractive, and he's a love interest, and I'm like, okay. But then he acts his ass off. And I'm like, okay, I get it. He still ain't cute, but I get it. Versus America, we want someone pretty, handsome, gorgeous, beautiful. And they sitting there looking, you can see them reading the cue card. But we're supposed to all celebrate and be like, ooh, they so good. No, they're not. And that's across the board in America. Black, white, and different. You know what I'm saying? It's just, to me, there's just not a bunch of great actors in America right now. And so I don't like American shows. And then they're just not that great. Some of the shows just aren't that great. And we have a tendency to really take a show and then do multiple spinoffs. And so it's the same show. It's just different characters, different actors doing the exact same show. And, and I'm just like, why? 911, what's that cop show for New York? Yeah, I started watching that. SVU, all those things. CSI got 5 spinoffs, and none of them are great. None of them. Hell, the original ain't even that good no more. I'm like, okay, so you spin off, and each spinoff got progressively worse. Have you seen the acting on the Hawaii version of NCIS? Oh my God. And the plot lines, child. Ooh, they just hire anybody to act and to write. And that's my rant for this week on the Black Girl Love Podcast. I am your girl, Cat Williams, and we'll see you here next Wednesday. Peace and love, y'all.
Inside your bedroom, we stopped counting.